So, hello guys, this is Amit Saha. I am hoping that you are able to hear me, and my team is here. You can't see all of them because they are on the LinkedIn invite. This is the first time that we are trying it, and I'm just hoping that you are able to hear me clearly. If you are, then please go on the LinkedIn and just give a thumbs up or say yes on the same, and it'll be nice to just know before we start. So it'll also be very nice if you want to get a video of this particular recording of this system. Then you could put in your name and email ID on the chat box. And if you would like to know, or if you also like to see the get the presentation that what has been shared today, you could also put your name and email ID in the chat box. I am on another video source, so I can't see the chats right now. I'm not really sure how do we handle the question answer session, but this is how it is. Okay, so I'm hoping that you're able to put your name and email ID in the chat box in case you want the presentation, in case you want the recording of today's session, and we will start. Okay, I'll give you one or 2 minutes to do that. Please, Ishika, just check and let me know if it's happening. Ishika, just check that.
Sorry, what?
So I hope you're able to see my screen today. And Ishika, if you could just put it in the chat box or just capture a image and let me know if everything is happening. All right, so I'll begin, and this is my name is Amit Saha. What you're seeing is the website called proindia.net. So I had started ProIndia in 2018, 5 years back. So we have finished 5 full years of serving you in the area of plastic circularity, compliance, EPR, policy advocacy, and also products, innovative products, including exchange platforms. And now we have moved to other things like ESG. You can see on my screen there are some new and innovative concepts that we are trying out. And one of the things that we are working with several companies is ESG, which is environmental and social governance. We also had into EPR for e-waste, plastic waste, tire waste, and battery waste. So EPR is coming in all these streams. I'm just trying to show you something in the space of environmental and social governance. What is environmental social governance? What is ESG? How do you comply? How do you build your ESG parameters and roadmap and a journey is all mentioned here. We have already implemented into major organizations this Protect software, which is a cloud-based GRI capturing carbon calculator, as well as GRI measurement tool. And then one can set yourself on journey of sustainability. So that is on the ESG. It is now aligned to GRI. It is aligned to BRSR, which is a SEBI requirement, and there are several other things that you can see on the proindia.net website. The other thing that you can look up on our website is plastic exchange, where we are able to offer you the best possible rates, but also the best ways to get your credits immediately from the entire variety of recyclers, co-processors, plastics to oil, waste to energy, and cement co-processors. So this is a blockchain based exchange platform of plastic credits, which can happen in a very transparent manner. And these are our policies: additionality, traceability, compliance, and transparency. So this entire thing, if you are a brand owner, you can just simply go here and click and buy EPR credits. And if you are a recycler or a co-processor, you can sell the same. It's you can do it free from our platform, or also if you want, we can help you with the same. If you can want to look at what is available in different categories, you can just submit what is according to your requirement. Even state wise, you will have some materials. For example, these are the 4 brands for Uttar Pradesh category 1. Although I can say that it is EPR, buying EPR credits is geographically neutral, but still, if you want it by category, by state, those are availabilities for you. It is very detailed and defined, and that is what Plastic Exchange offers to you. We also mentioned to you in the beginning, there was a small video where we had actually gone and reached out to 600 plus stakeholders in municipality, recyclers, brand owners, students, communities, and even MOEF and CPCB people, to do a survey on what has really changed in the 5 years. So because this time also the theme on the World Environment Day was beating plastic pollution, and we did a very detailed understanding and analysis of the same, and we could capture some of those voices, and I think you might have heard some of them here. And I can also show you something right here for those people who have joined just now. It is a 1-minute video. Just hold the line for 1 minute. So you can see it here.
आपसे यही रिक्वेस्ट है अथॉरिटीज से, तो ग्राउंड लेवल से जो पिकिंग हो रही है वेस्ट की, वो एक प्रॉपर ढंग से आ सके
और हमें टैक्स से, पेपर वर्क से हमें आज़ादी दी जाए।
तो जीएसटी लगा है, जब से हम लोग मतलब उतना काम नहीं चलता है।
यही है क्या जीएसटी को ख़त्म किया जाए इसके ऊपर, हम क्योंकि हम कूड़ा काम करते हैं, कूड़े की सफाई करते हैं, तो इसके लिए हमें सरकार से यही विनती है हमारी।
सबसे मेन कड़ी स्वच्छ भारत अभियान के तहत हम लोग आते हैं। एशिया की सबसे बड़ी मार्केट में हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं।
गेट पे कूड़ा भर रहा है, 1.5 महीने से ऐसे ही काम चल रहा है, ना कूड़ा उठ रहा है।
कि कोई भी चीज़ टूटे फूटे है मिस कैरेज करके ऐसे कूड़े में डालने से फायदा कि उसको इकट्ठा करो, किसी कुबाड़ी को दो, ताकि वो हमारे फैक्ट्रियों तक पहुँचे और हम उसको रिसाइकलिंग करके दो में रिटर्न करवाएं।
जितनी जल्दी हो सके उतनी जल्दी यहाँ से कूड़ा उठे। हम गवर्नमेंट का साथ देंगे, गवर्नमेंट हमारा साथ दे।
So this is the kind of work that happened in the beating plastic pollution, and of course you can understand a lot of other things specifically to today's conference. EPR is the central point of discussion, so you can actually look up here the entire set of rules, the penalties. You can see the environmental compensation guidelines and plastic waste rules. And also, if you have any consultation requirements, you can get free consultation with us on this particular page, which is called proindia.net /EPR. Coming to today's discussion specifically, and the topic has been unlocking your plastic credits and accounting for your annual accomplishing your annual filing requirements. So I know that this particular version of it is not very adept to question and answer session. We are going on a YouTube live, sorry, on a LinkedIn live. So I'm not too sure whether we are able to see or hear all your questions, but I'm going to share with you a presentation of maybe 7 or 10 slides where you can get some idea on where the problems are in the current EPR credits for you, and why is that your waste management agency is not able to give you your credits on the portal. If you have any specific questions on that, I would suggest you please write it on the chat box. Ishika from my team will pick it up and probably post it to me on a WhatsApp, and then I'll probably be able to answer it. Okay, so I'm just going to begin from here, and I'm going to just ask Ishika. Ishika, you are able to hear me clearly? Hello? Smriti, are you able to hear me clearly? Very good. Please put it on the chat box. If people have any questions during the presentation, they can just ask it in the chat box. I can't see the chat box as much. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. So not too much into the content part of it. You know the role of EPR and how plastics has become a major issue, and the government had come up with EPR as a way to manage the menace caused by plastic waste. So plastic is a great product. It's a great, excellent packaging material. Almost all industry, everything has moved on to in terms packaging in plastics because it's economical, shatterproof, quality, high resistance, gives longer life. Everything works in for plastic. The only thing that is not very good is that we don't treat the plastics well after we consume it. So the waste is the biggest problem. The waste gets littered, and the waste is the problem which comes back to the producers and brand owners to say that there is a major issue. So therefore, I mean, specifically for India is the second largest plastic polluting country in terms of polluting the oceans. If you look at the share in front of you can see that we have a huge share in the plastic pollution. We are not a great consumer of plastic quantity. We only consume about 20 million tons of plastics in a year, and only 12 to 13 kgs per person per year is the per capita plastic consumption. As compared to US, it is less than 1/10. So that is not a problem. The problem is that after we consume, the litter is spread all over. The waste management is a problem. Plastic is not a problem. So therefore, EPR is something which Indian government has implemented in 2016, and the idea was polluter pay principle. The producer who produces plastics for their own benefit, for making the products reach to the consumer, has to take the responsibility of the packaging even after the life of product is over. So like if you and I consume a packet of chips and the packet is left behind, it is the PepsiCo or the Haldiram or the Bikaji that they have to make sure that the package is not littered and it is retrieved from the environment, because what is left in the environment, especially plastics, they just stay in the environment for years and years to come. It does not get a controlled incineration. So that means it adds to the pollution, it adds to the PM 2.5, SOx and NOx and everything else. So there are four types of plastics as per the government CPCB rules, as per the MOEF rules of 16th February. Category 1, 2, 3, 4, rigid, flexible, multi-layer and compostable. I'm sure some of you know that, most of you know that, and therefore there are certain stakeholders other than PIBOs who also have responsibilities towards the plastic waste rule. CPCB is the nodal authority and the executing body for plastic waste and other waste also. SPCB also has a big role to play, because if one brand has or a producer has plants in only 2 states or operates in only 2 states, up to 2 states, then SPCB, local SPCBs are the ones who are giving the authority and managing those plants. Important thing to note is that at SPCB level, the consent to operate for a factory now includes plastic waste registration. So you have to add registration number at the time of import of next renewal of your consent to operate. Same way you have to do that for importing anything which is in plastic packaging. Now we are talking today only about plastics, but believe me, the same thing has started happening in electronic waste, in battery waste and in tire waste. So this kind of a requirement is becoming mandatory for all the importers, all the brands who are using plastics as packaging, or even if you are getting into e-waste and battery waste and tire waste segments. PWP again in plastic waste are the processors of plastic. So they retrieve the plastic, they recycle the plastic, or they co-process the plastic, make it into road, or make it into oil using pyrolysis method. So there are certain responsibilities of PIBOs. Again, you know most of it. If you have come to this meeting, I'm assuming that you have a basic idea of what is EPR and what is the plastic waste rule. So this is the rule in the gist. The final version of it has been released on 16th February 2022. Now in this, the 4 important thing, and we will talk about the only first one today, which is recover, is there are 4 R's. First part is recover or retrieval. So basically, as a producer or a brand owner, you have to recover 100% of your plastic waste, whether it is coming out of your factory as scrap, as solid waste, or it is coming out of consumers' consumption as post-consumer waste. As a brand owner and a producer, you have to bring all those plastics back, not leave it in the environment. So this is called recover. And I can also say that this is also end of life, which means that you have to bring it back and somehow manage it. You need not recycle it all the time. There are other opportunities like putting into co-processing in cement, putting into waste to energy plant, converting into oil, or recycling. So these are all the different opportunities for the first part, which is recover, or basically retrieve, recover, whatever you call it. Second part is mostly in the category 1, which is the rigid plastic, where the plastic has not to be further broken down. The package has to be reused. So rewashed, reused are the second category. Third R is recycle. So this actually starts only in 2024. If you look at the timeline here, it says 2024, and 2024 is when for each category there are targets, how much percentage you have to demonstrate recycling. Important thing to note here is recovery still is 100%. So you have to recover 100 tons out of 100 tons if your plastic is 100 tons that you have left out in the environment. But at the same time, 30 tons out of this, out of that, if suppose you are in category 3, category 3 is multi-layer packaging, 30 ton out of that has to be demonstrated that they are recycled. Okay, so it is recycled and but may or may not be reused by yourself in your own packaging. So recycling stops there. But the fourth one is called post-consumer recyclates or PCR. So this one says that out of that 30 in category 3, which you have got recycled in the year 2024-25, you have to make sure that 5% out of your 100 tons, that is 5 tons, has to be reused in your own package. This has to be reused in your own package. Now these are the 4 R's. Again, if you have any questions in that, we will take it at the end. But the central theme of the work today, of the discussion today, is basically how do you really, what is the status of your EPR credits today? And I am taking a guess that 90% of the people who are in this call and in general have not been able to get the wallet EPR credit from their waste management agency or their cement co-processing units, where the material is going to the waste management through the waste management agency. They're also not able to get it through their recyclers. So when I calculated this value, total requirement of all 4 different categories, and I'm not going to consider category number 4, which is plastics which are biodegradable, which is 10,883 tons per annum. That much target I leave behind, but add all the 3 in terms of target, it is 30.71 lakhs. This much is the target which was there in the last year, and this year people who have already started putting their numbers. So it is 3 million tons. 30.7 lakh tons is the total requirement for credit, and total availability of credit is 8.42 lakhs. This data is coming from CPCB site. Okay, now I'm just going to show you the CPCB site quickly so that you can know, you don't trust me, trust CPCB site. Okay, so if you are able to see my screen, I'm just going to show you the CPCB plastic screen, and in the dashboard here is the same number. If you can see, this is the EPR target of 30.71 lakhs. This is the same picture which has been picked up from here and put it in the presentation. This target is coming from not only this year but also from the last year targets, because if you look at the table and not just the data, you will find that this year's PIBO's target is a smaller number. Now this is only for those ones who have just managed to register starting April this year. So it doesn't add up to 30, it adds up only to the FY 24. And then you move on to the certificate. So this is CPCB, this is national, sorry, this is national. Then there is CPCB. So in the CPCB, if you see, if you add all of this, the total comes out to be 34.33 lakhs of EPR target. Now why am I telling that 30 is only target? Is because some of the target has been already fulfilled. That is the balance target. What you are seeing in the presentation is only the balance target. This much target has already been fulfilled. So 34 minus 34 to 5 lakh tons of EPR target has been fulfilled by some of the recyclers. This is only CPCB, and then there is at the state level also the PIBOs who have presence in 2 states, and the producers who have presence in 2 states, they also add up to the target. So if you can see that there is a target, but although it's very, very small, I will not say it's a massive target here, but it is it's a target still. And finally, when I say availability, just look at this availability right here. You can see that these are the availability of of the total recyclers total quantity. So if you see total on the right hand column, you can see that this is where it is. This is where this the availability is, and some of them have been also transferred already. I told you that 4 to 5 lakh tons have been already managed, so those are already transferred. Those are the middle column, and the leftmost column is still available. So those are the availabilities. Okay, so coming back again here to the same presentation, this is the overall number at this point in time. So we are in a shortfall of 22 lakh metric tons, and 22 lakh metric tons in the next 2 months you have to manage. This is not going to be easy because that much capacity is not there if we add up all the recyclers. So this is an overall thing that why you are not able to get your EPR credits in from your waste management agency. But it does not end there. The biggest problem is that recyclers capacity is not adequate to meet your demands. Even if they were doing it in the last year on the paper based system, they are not able to do it for you now because they have not generated GST invoices in the last year. So if they have not generated GST invoice in the last year, they cannot generate plastic credits on their wallet. So they don't have a GST invoice, so they can't generate plastic credits. If they can't generate plastic credits, you can't get plastic credit transferred from their wallet to your wallet. This is a problem for recyclers, and because of which whatever the capacities are there in the recyclers, most of them are unable to meet your demand. I know that CPCB has given an extension to the brands to fulfill and comply with in your annual filing in the next 2 months. So earlier it was April end, and now I think it is September or August or September end. But still I feel that you will not be able to definitely not be able to manage this, because at the end GST invoice of a previous year cannot be arranged by the recycler. It is not that the recycler is telling you that yes, I will do it, because GST invoice cannot be generated for 6 months old in work. GST invoice has to be very current, and therefore if you can't generate a GST invoice, you can't load it on the system, the sale cannot happen, and if the sale doesn't happen, the plastic credit does not get generated in the wallet of the recycler. Very, very important. Please understand, recyclers, it will be very difficult for them to give you credits out of last year. Maybe they can give you some credits out of this year, but then this year has just started, so they will have to make sale, and then only they can generate GST invoice. So this is one thing I wanted to tell you about recyclers. Now second thing I want to tell you about cement co-processors. This is another massive issue. Cement co-processors have now lost a case in Delhi High Court where they were saying that they should not be considered PIBOs in the scheme of things. They should not be considered producers, importers and brand owners. They cannot be considered as brand owners because they are net consumer of plastic waste. They actually manage all kind of waste from all different sources, including hazardous waste, to put it along with cement, along with coal, in order to generate energy and dispose of such difficult to dispose waste. They have lost the case, so which means that they are brand owners, and each cement company has something like 8 to 10 million plastic bags. These called raffia bags, PP bags, plastic bags, which is a plastic packaging, and that amounts to about 8 lakh metric tons of EPR. So they have 8 lakh metric tons of EPR that they have to fulfill for themselves first. That is the item number one. Second, that these cement companies through the waste management agencies, and there are so many waste management agencies, biomining companies, and other organizations which have actually taken municipal solid waste and disposed it in the cement plants because it has some calorific value, and they have received the hard copy of such disposal. Let's say one truck goes to one cement plant, total truck tonnage is 16 tons, they get a 16 tons plastic credit on paper, and that they have given to you. In some cases they may have given to you, you have the hard copy paper with you which says 16 metric tons of plastic credit, but it is not 16 metric ton, because now there is something called conversion factor. This conversion factor is a factor of how much plastic was there in the total truck, and that is something which is generally in the range of 20 to 30. In some cases, very good, high quality waste, it could be 40 to 50% also, but generally 20 to 30%, which means that these cement companies which disposed AFR to the extent of something like 16 lakh metric tons, and have given the commitment to WMA, Waste Management Agency, and given hard copies of 16 lakh metric tons for plastics. Actually, the plastic credit that they can generate is only 20% of the same. So which means that they have over committed and under delivered. So only 3 lakh metric tons can be generated from the last year's credits, and in the 3 lakh, which means that Waste Management Agency has taken your purchase order thinking that cement company will give you the credit. Cement company will not be able to give the credit because they cannot generate 16 lakh out of 16 lakh. They can generate only 3 to 4 lakh out of 16 lakh because conversion factor is 20 to 30%. Therefore, the waste management company is unable to get the credit, and therefore cement companies are not interested to now go to the portal itself and generate those 3 to 4 lakh credits, because they'll fall short. They'll have a shortfall as far as waste management agency's total requirement is concerned. So now you can see this is a double whammy. First is they themselves have a requirement of 8 lakhs, and second is they have a shortfall of close to 12 lakhs of requirement which they have committed to waste management companies, and who have committed to you that I will co-process, especially the category 3, and therefore they are stuck, and therefore you are stuck in not able to retrieve or get your plastic credits. Now again, do not believe me, but believe this Delhi High Court order, and I'm going to take you to the Delhi High Court order straight away. Just give me 1 minute. I think you can see my WhatsApp. I've been sending this out to some people, so I know where it is sitting. Ishika, if there is any problem, please write it on the chat box. I can see that there is some problem somewhere. People are not able to see my screen. Okay, so I'm hoping that you're able to see my screen. Ishika, please confirm on the chat box. Okay. So you can see this High Court judgment. I think it has come on the 25th of last month. It was fought between India government, the Union of India, and Cement Manufacturers Association. This is in the Cement Manufacturers Association. It is Mr. P. Chidambaram who actually fought this, who is also a politician and a erstwhile finance minister of India. So they have lost this case, which says that it says, and I quote, that that cement companies are not possible as PBOs. So the contra has been filed by Mr. Sanjay Jain, who is representing Government of Union of India, saying that 24 out of 41 members already have filed their PBO registration number 1. Then he further contends that the obligation of PBO and per clause 3 in plastic packaging does not mandate the task to be performed by the PBO, as in segregation of the plastic waste. So that was that was the dilemma that they had, and then it said that. And then finally, these are the final outcomes. 24 out of 41 CMA members have already registered. 25 out of 41 CMA members have a capacity of generating 101 lakh 10 million tons packaging capacity. But obviously, none of them have actually gone and opened the portal up. 24 of the CMA manufacturer members have their own requirement of 82,000 metric tons, and then this is only for out of the in CMA there are only 25% of cement manufacturers. In that, half of the cement manufacturers have registered. So you can just multiply and extrapolate this. EPR certificates generated on that day of the order was having 1,30,000 tons already available on the wallet. So it was said that it is already available, you have to only go and buy it, and therefore finally it says that in the view of the fact that there are adequate options available enabling PIBOs to meet their obligations, the court is not inclined to stay the operation of EPR guidelines. The court is also fortified by the order dated 9/1/2023 passed by Uttarakhand High Court, where the same thing was not stayed. So the application is dismissed. So this application stands dismissed. That means the cement manufacturers have to register themselves as PIBOs, fulfill their EPR obligations, and then take care of anybody else's obligations. So coming back here again, this is where we are. We have a situation where cement manufacturers who can actually give you a huge quantum of EPR credits are not able to do so. Okay, so then my question to you would be, you should ask your waste management company or your recycler, where is the EPR credit coming from? Is it coming from your cement manufacturer? And is that guy where the credit is coming from, is their wallet which is approved? Because half the wallets are not approved, the region officer has not gone and visited, or there are some problems or the other in the recycler's facility. Okay, so then my recommendation is that do not wait, switch your vendor, and because the penalties are to the brand owner, not to your vendor. There will be penalties that will be applicable to you, and the penalty will be almost 2 to 3 times the cost of per ton plastic waste. And because you are not able to transfer the EPR credits, you are also delaying your annual filing. So delay in the annual filing will be catastrophic, and that's something that I will not suggest. I will stop here now and just show you that what do we do. So we bring back plastics and create circular economy. We have track and trace end to end. We are able to take awareness and also advocacy to the highest level. There are EPR registration process that you guys already know, so I don't want to take your time. You can always reach out to Ishika and other mail IDs that has come to you, and we'll be very happy to support you in your journey of annual filing. If you have any questions at this point in time, I'll be very happy to take the same. So with that, I will just stop here and wait for Ishika to tell me if there are any um, questions that are coming. Maybe Ishika, you can put it in the chat box and let me know, and we can take those in the last 10 minutes. So Ishika, let me know if there are any questions in the chat box or otherwise. Shruti, Smriti, you can also check, please.
Yes, sir. You could hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
So there is one question.
Please go ahead.
If credit is allocated on CPCB portal to grant owners by WNA, is it verified?
A waste management agency cannot give you credits. A waste management agency is just an agency which manages the waste. It is only the end of life agency which is either converting into recycling or is able to co-process or make waste to oil. A waste management agency cannot give you EPR credits. The credits has to be transferred directly from the recycler to you. Yes, a waste management agency can barter the credits or broker the credits. Okay, any other question? Smriti, any questions?
Not ever.
Okay, Ishika, any?
How pharmaceutical items packaging? There are lots of how pharmaceutical item packaging small scale companies start EPR procedure?
Um, Well, I think you should return that email ID to with your query. I think it's a long process. We can't tell all of it in this webinar. There is a full process of registration. We'll be helping you to do the same. My request is please reach us back. You have our email IDs and contact numbers. We can help you with the same. Okay, anything else? Ishika, you can also check. Okay, now we are at 12:51. I do not know how many people could finally come and join in on the LinkedIn. Smriti, if you can tell a little bit as to how many people were there.
So I think there are only 8.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to close this VC now. Thank you very much for joining in, and thank you Smriti, Yashika, and Abhinav at the back end. to help us in this process. Thank you very much, guys.
I'm sorry to cut you off, sir. I think there's one more question. Can you take that?
Yeah. Tell me.
So the question is, how can we get access to all these data regarding EPR?
Oh, the data is already there. You can go to CPCB plastic site, which I had already shown you, and otherwise you can always be in touch with us. We can show you how to go around the data. All right. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for this, and thank you team for helping me around with this new format of webinar on LinkedIn Live. And no, it's a little difficult process to go on LinkedIn Live, but you can also see the YouTube video, which was live streaming, and you can go back and catch it also, and maybe forward it to anybody else if you want to. With that, thank you very much, and thank you team for making it happen. Thank you.